Hey guys, BsPA bringing you this plus 22 tyrannical Everbloom as the two-handed Obliteration Frost DK. I have been running a little bit more Frost lately. You know, I had this little bit of period where it was all Unholy and Declawing Wounds. Now back a bit of Frost, trying out, trying to compare, you know, how does it actually feel like compared to Unholy when it comes to damage, that kind of thing. I think the verdict is a bit tricky. Frost definitely does good damage here, so this dungeon I will end at around 315k, which beats both the Warlock and the Demon Hunter, which are known to be pretty meta classes and which should do loads of damage on their own. Obviously always difficult to compare because this is just some random pug. It's hard to know exactly if they have the right kind of gear, that kind of thing. But you know, I feel like Frost feels powerful, and importantly, we actually do pretty well on single targets. The build we are running, the 200 Obliteration one, really doesn't sacrifice that much single target. I put up like the Sims, I don't know the exact numbers, but like comparing this to a full raid build isn't that much difference in single targets. You can output some respectable deep damage there. And then, you know, you do really good cleave and AoE as well, so, you know, it's pretty good. It's also really fun to play, especially if you play with the WoW weak aura that just screams at you every time you get a really big obliterate. So there's that. Anyway, you have my gear. It's up here. You have my talents. They're over there. I'm opting for just 2 passive trinkets here. That's what I generally run. It's pretty good for Frost DK because you have variable CDR on your primary cooldown window. So yeah, running it unused is difficult because you always end up delaying it to fit with your cooldowns, kind of thing. I don't have proper Myth Plus embellishments. I would probably run versatility wrists and the haste legs if I had the choice there, but I do actually have a spark, so I could do the legs, but I don't have enough tier items to actually go for it. So anyway, we're gonna do our normal thing. We'll just do commentary on the run, talk about little tips and tricks you can do as a Frost DK to help kind of maximize your damage as well as your survivability. Up until this point in the dungeon, there isn't that much you can do. It's just these big pulls, lots of interrupts, blinding sleet is pretty good value, but that's pretty much it. We can't do like anything fancy as the Frost DK. We're gonna go into this boss. This obviously has a big damage phase window. However, how it works is that the window is just so long that it's such a big portion of the fight that you don't actually save cooldowns for it because you end up wasting them. So you'll see me, I'm going to pop my pillar like right before we actually engage the boss. Also, I'm going to mess up royally here because what the plan was, which I wasn't aware of, which I think you do quite often, is that you pull the lashes from in front of the boss and then on top of the boss when you pull it. Stupidly, I would kind of follow the tank because I thought, yeah, let's clear those before we kill the actually engage the boss, and ended up being locked out. So you see both me and the Demon Hunter getting locked out of the area here, which was pretty silly. We end up timing the key anyway, but that could have definitely been a mistake, which cost our key. Here I'm talking about this. So pack is almost dead, but I put down my cooldowns anyway. It's a bit of a padded thing because I know that, all right, my window is very short, and even though it dies with like 2 seconds left, I can obliterate some of the shades, right? So I don't feel like I lose complete value. Here we go. I go, yeah, let's take this. All right, whoops. Okay, we're running back. And then he pulls the boss. And I get locked out. So, whoops. We are going to scroll ahead until we manage to resolve this issue. All right. There we go. All right, back on the boss. Just be aware that that could definitely happen. I've done it in the past. I'm not sure why I should follow the tank there. Alright, so this boss, there isn't that much we can do. We're obviously going to try and leverage our cleave as much as possible whenever the ads spawn, and then just make sure we put in loads and loads of damage into the boss. As I said before, the damage increase windows are so long that you shouldn't be saving cooldowns for them. Our pillar is like 30 seconds, so if you hold it, you're going to lose a full cast, which is bad. Alright, so we've got some lashes coming in. I'm going to go and pop my cooldowns there. Ooh, pull some aggro. You can see I have 3 macros here for my pillar, but I need to do another one. So I have the bottom 5, 6, and 7. So 5 does pillar plus Howling Blast, 6 does pillar plus Glacial Advance, and 7 does pillar plus Frost Strike. Only thing I need is to go pillar plus Obliterate, because sometimes you actually want to start your pillar threat window with an Obliterate if you have like a killer machine to start with. Also, if you have been watching my videos, I've previously been saying that during pillar windows, we can actually go to double stack by prioritizing Rhyme and essentially prioritizing Rhyme still. That's not quite right. I've misunderstood a thing. So in your pillar window, always prioritize hitting killer machine if you have it. Alright, we've got some nice cleave here, popping our Deafening Decay. We're kind of blasting this boss. Frosty Decay does really quite well because we love this kind of small ad cleave. We do respectable single target DPS on Witherbark. So I think I'm going to top the damage on him, but we can also do really good on these lashes and things that spawn. Here we go. So we have a scenario where, there we go, I did my macro with Frost Strike. I get my cooldowns up, right? And I could wait, but I don't. And I think that is the play here, because otherwise I would lose casts in the end. Not too much else there, you know, we've got another damage window. We're probably going to kill him in this. I do like Everbloom, because both this boss and the last one just gives you insane obliterates. This one's not that powerful, but you can still get like 600-700k ones. Final boss you get like 1.3 million, that feels pretty good. Alright, we're sending our cooldowns here. We're having Power Room Weapon. Always using that with Pillar. We are going to pop down our Deafening Decay here. It's, yeah, debatable whether or not it's worth to use Glacial Advance here. I think it's fine because it deals enough damage on the boss itself to be worthwhile, but could be seen as a bit paddy. I don't know. But yeah, boss is going to go down. No problem. By far the easiest boss here. Like, it's not dangerous at all. So I do use Chill Streak there towards the end. It's very important to use Chill Streak often because the cooldown reduction on Power Room Weapon is pretty good. So even though I don't get that much value from the buff there, I'll still get some value from that in Power Room Weapon. Cooldown reduction. I end up at 356k, which I think is very much respectable. Alright, so we got these ads. We can do something interesting here. So you see that big one, the Abomination. He does a cast, which you can AMS, which is really quite powerful because it deals a loads of damage and leaves a dot. So if you AMS it, you just ignore the dot, which is pretty good. So there's a Noxious Eruption. AMS it, everyone else gets the dots. Get the dot, I don't. So another thing which I've changed my gameplay slightly on. So when it comes to using Deafening Decay in your pillar, so previously I always waited 2 GCDs to use my pillar. That meant that sometimes I would kind of spend a killer machine before pillar. Before my Deafening Decay, which wasn't actually the play. It's not that much different, but now I just go, okay, double kill machine, that's when I do my Deafening Decay. Right? That will make it that will make it so that you do slightly more killer machines in your Deafening Decay overall. However, what you need to be aware of is that the final oblit in your pillar window might not cleave. So pillar is 12 seconds, Deafening Decay is 10. If you use Deafening Decay early, right, you will get a little bit at the end there where you don't have Deafening Decay active. That's something to be wary of, because if you do end up in that situation, the play is to generate a killer machine, so you can then use your, what's it called? Deafening Decay, your second Deafening Decay afterwards. So this instance, right, I have Deafening Decay down early, so you will definitely finish before the end. So in that scenario, what I should have done, I didn't do it here, right? I didn't play perfectly, but I should have spent that GCD to generate a proc, so I can then pop down Deafening Decay and spend that proc after my pillar. Like, the reality is that the, like, 2-3 seconds right after your pillar, it's nearly as powerful as inside your pillar, because you have Enduring Strength going, you have your Frost Swap going, that kind of thing, which is just really, really strong. So getting those cleaves afterwards is not that bad compared to getting them inside. That's the kind of idea. All right, so we're going to end up doing some messy bits here as well. Either, I'm not too sure exactly what happened here, but either I pulled the boss using my pillar whelp, or the warlock did so with his pets, right? I actually didn't look at it, so I recorded this just a couple of minutes ago, so I'm not actually not too sure what happened, so we're good to have a look, but I know that I was facing towards the boss, so it can definitely have been me. We'll see. Couple notes, you know, I do bring in some rotation things here. This is not like a rotation guide video, but I still want to mention some things I think about. Remorseless Winter and Chill Streak usage inside your pillar windows. Just send them. Is the plan. So you don't want situations where you're sitting on Chill Streak or pillar. Alright, so we've managed to pull a guy there. That's fine. Whoop, behind. We're just going to deal with this abomination on its own. And let's have a look at it. Do I pill the boss? I don't know. I'll have to go look back at footage. Maybe, maybe not, but you know. Let's skip ahead until we actually do deal with this. Alright. What I was saying, right, sorry. Got off track there. Even though it feels bad to use Chill Streak and Remorseless Winter in your pillar windows, it is still worthwhile, because those buttons just do loads of damage on their own, and delaying them just means that you lose out on a lot. And this even in single target, Remorseless Winter even in single target. Because just that single button press, if you think about the amount of damage that does over its duration, it's a lot. So you do lose out a lot if you don't press it. Alright, let's see. Some good old shade tanking here. Nearly kills me, man, but quite fine. Alright, this boss. So, not that much we can do. AMS is pretty useful here because there's quite a lot of magic damage going on. And we can deal a load of damage here because 2-target cleave, right? We're just blasting. Unfortunately, this Demon Hunter is not a fan of moving out of the bosses here, so we're going to have some difficulty actually hitting them. Obviously, when he does his charge, right, when he lands, everyone spawns a puddle. Where is he? No, okay, he was. Yeah, that's a bit better, but a couple of times he was just standing right on the boss, and that makes it really difficult to come into melee and cleave. I'm leveraging my pillar windows with my Deafening K, just treating him just as I would in a normal cleave situation where I stack up 2 killer machine. Yeah, there we go. Right, this is not ideal because really can't hit the boss here. Ooh, nearly die. I'll go over this guy, hit some death strikes just to survive. And then we'll stay far away. And we'll go back in. There we go. Ideally, you want to interrupt this Nature's Wrath as much as possible. They do a lot of damage, those casts. I think that I did delay my pillar window slightly because I wasn't quite sure when the boss was going to die and if I would save it until the next boss to cleave. But I did send it in the end, which I think was the right play. And now he's going to do the exact same thing here. Move out when he does that thing. And then have to deal with the fact that Demon Hunter doesn't. Oh well. I'll try and... I need to check this, by the way, because on 2 targets, is it worthwhile to Glacial Advance or Frost Strike? Glacial Advance does more damage on a G2D by G2D point of view. However, it doesn't actually reduce pillar cooldown. Ooh, that was a small mistake. I did my abomination limit in my pillar window, which you shouldn't do. Anyway, what happens is that, yes, you do more raw damage, but on a stacked kind of 2 target scenario like this, Frost Strike will give you more pillar windows. I know, I'll look it up and then I'll write in text there what the solution is, but I'm currently using Glacial Advance because it does more raw damage. Alright. These bosses are going down relatively quickly. You can see here I'm topping damage comfortably at 225k, and that's all that, you know, big Obliterate cleave doing some really solid work. All right, bosses go down. We're going to move on to the next boss here. Not much we can do with the trash here. They obviously do lots of damage, especially the. Oh, hang on. We're actually going to go back and kill this. All right. The mages, that kind of thing. So it's a Cinderstorm. That's the oh, calling out Demon Hunter. Anyway, it's the mages that do lots of damage. The fire mages that do the Cinderstorm. That's a good point to use a defensive, and that's kind of it. That's what we're gonna do on the fight yourself. Let's say just gonna kill this. You see my secondary definitely there. It was good to use. We use it right after pillar window because we have loads of buffs still running. I'll say loads of buff. It's enduring strength and frost whelp. Frost whelp is only like 3 seconds because it lasts 15 seconds after you use a pillar, so it's only those 3 seconds. But enduring strength will definitely last you through an entire secondary definitely window. So that's why you want to use it there. Obviously, you don't want to use it so aggressively that we don't have it up for the next pillar, but in general, you can definitely afford to pop down multiple secondary Ks. Alright, let's go. This is Cinderbolt salvo, does insane damage, so just need to be aware of that one. If you do get hit by one of these orbs, it stuns you, so you can use Icebind Fortitude to get out. I think, yeah. Using Anti-Magic Shell and just running through it also works, just immunes it straight off. Alright, tanking some shade damage here. I think these shades are a bit different now, because they used to scale with our level past 20, but they don't now. So doing at 22 is like doing 20, so they don't do that much damage. Especially when you play Frost DK, because we're incredibly tanky. You might have seen my build here, I run the tank build. So there's just no way I'm going to die from a shade, unless I'm incredibly unlucky. Oh, that's a good point. So a lot of people talk about K usage and like where you stand. You can see here that I'm standing with K, but none of the mobs are. But that's fine. The cleave from your K is based off your position, not your targets. Just the binary, do you cleave or not? That's based on where you stand. So if you're in your K, you will cleave. And then the cleave is 8 yards around your target. That's how it works. So you can see there, even though the tank moved out on my K, I could still stand in it and get full cleave value. Alright, we're going to pull some of the assistants down, and then we're going to cleave those. We're going to pull all the assistants down, and we're going to cleave those. So I'm being wary ahead that the tank is moving. I know he's probably not going to pull these on his own. So that's why I'm waiting with my cooldowns. I haven't actually pointed this out, but you might have seen me a couple times using Glacier Advance, like behind me or similar, when I was running between packs. That's always to keep up my Unleashed Frenzy buff. Especially with Shades, it's really easy to do because you will have this you have these mobs that you can always keep hitting after you kill the pack. But without Shades, you would try and, as you run towards a pack, using Glacier Advance, just when you're in range, can be a good idea. Either to just start stacking the buff or to refresh it. So you start out with 3 stacks right away. Alright, so the boss here, it's not that much to talk about. You just want to make sure you always have a defensive for the Cinderbolt. So that's going to be AMS, IBF, and Lichborn that we're going to leverage. Other than that, if you do get hit by the ice, use Icebind Fortitude. If you have AMS, you can just run through the ice. Those are the kind of tips we're looking for here. Alright, talking about who to bait. Sorting that out. No problem. Let's go. Let's see. Right, off we go. So I have little weeks here, so I will see what the next combo is. So we have Cinderbolt. So I actually don't use the defense of the first one, because yeah, that one isn't very dangerous. You won't die from it, but all the other ones, I will try and commit at least one defensive. And if I don't have a defensive, I will definitely Death Strike midway through the buff. You can see that I did try to extend my Gathering Storm. Unfortunately, I failed. But, you know, we did give it a go. Something to be wary of. If you use AMS for the Cinderbolt, that might deplete it. So something to have a look out for, so you don't end up going like, oh, I can run through these ice thingies, and then you realize that, no, I couldn't. The arcane ability there, it will pull you towards it, so definitely a risk that you will get pulled into something dangerous. So Death's Advance, really good point to use that whenever you do get the spatial compression. All right, you can see there, the healer got pulled into one and died. That's the risk, right? You get pulled into an AoE and it just one-shots you. So need to be wary of that. Right, we've got Cinderbolt Storm coming up. I have AMS for it, so I'm just going to commit that. No problem. Ideally run out of the ice as soon as possible, because you get less space the longer you wait, you know. But, you know, not that much else to think about. We have, there we go, spatial. I use my, Alright, I should definitely have used Death's Advance there. I got saved by the other guy getting hit by it, so could have definitely almost died. But I did have Iceman Fortune, so that's kind of fine. Because in reality, what happens is that I can use AMS for every second Cinderbolt, and then I can use Lichborn for the other one. So I could do AMS, Lichborn, AMS, and only the fourth one is when actually you need to potentially commit Icebound. But, you know, if you use AMS early on, you can definitely use it twice in a row. Because you can see that I did have AMS almost up for it, but it came up in midway through kind of thing. So if you just use it early in one, you can then use it late in the second and then chain it that way. And then you can fill in with Lichborn, which means that you can do AMS, AMS, Lichborn, AMS, AMS. So you've got the first 5 covered. All right, time for the final boss. This is a good one for Frost DK. We have some really nice 2-target cleave, which is going to be useful when we kill off the ad. Still, you know, we'll still do really good boss damage. And then we'll get insane Obliterate, which is also very fun. So there you go. Just waiting for this open. When it comes to using Bloodlust here, it's generally a good idea to use for ads. I think we're just going to send it immediately, to be honest. It depends on how good your healer is, because when you add this up, there's a big healing requirement, because it does loads of damage. It's a good idea to always use your defenses during that point. You can see I did make a mistake here in my opener. I didn't use Chill Streak before my pillar, which is bad, because then I had to spend a GC in my pillar. So don't want that to happen. And now we're seeing like 1.2 million Oblits, which is pretty juicy. Alright, we can extend Gathering Storm very well. We have the ad coming up. We're going to kill that. We're going to use our Deafening K to do damage. Sending our pillar. There we go. That instance, right? The first time he does his little frontal is when you are going to die if you die during that phase. So it's a very good idea to commit a defensive for it every time. And lucky for us, we can always use Anti-Magic Shell. I need to double check if the actual frontal does do... Hang on, does that do physical or magical damage? That's what I'm wondering now. Anyway, definitely the pausing AoE. Okay. So the Colossal Blow does do magical damage, but the pausing AoE also does it. So this means that AMS is really good for that. You won't die from it at all. Alright, put down Deafening K to do some more damage here. We're just pumping this ad. The ad does, there's loads of group-wide damage when it's up, so you really need to make sure you focus it down. Got Genesis, we're just making sure we clear the flowers close to the boss. Remember there can be flowers underneath the boss, just so you are aware of that. Here we have a scenario where I had to use chill streak and loads of things in my pillar, which is not ideal, but it's what it is. I wonder what my largest crit was there. I want to have a look at that now. It's always nice to get those big ones. So 1.46 million. I can look at here at the post-run stats. You will see my breakdown here, by the way. So you can have a look at that. Generally, it's all obliterate, right? Above 40% of your damage to obliterate, and then you have like, you know, Remorse, Chill Streak, Howling Blast coming at the bottom. But it's all about managing and optimizing that obliterate damage. You can see here, for instance, if you have the Witherbark boss fight, right? I did 49 million, which was roughly the same as the Demon Hunter, but then I did loads more damage. Frosty Gate's just pumping. I think the fact that we do that well on single target, like Archmage, I did 173k. The other guys did 130. Like, it's really juicy, really juicy. Anyway, boss is about to die. We're just blasting here. We're gonna commit on the boss and kill it. And we timed the key, and I'm gonna go to 3k score. That was also quite a nice one. Ending at 300 and, let's say, 16k overall-ish. Yep. 315k, I think it says. Alright, well, that's a 22 Everbloom Tyrannical for you. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about this video. Upvote, downvote, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.